Good morning. Continuing on with the last section of Thoreau's formative essay, Nature Prospects, from 1836. At present, man applies to nature but half his force. He works on the world with his understanding alone. He lives in it and masters it by a penny wisdom. And he that works most in it is but half man. And whilst his arms are strong and his digestion good, his mind is imbruted, and he is a selfish savage. His relation to nature, his power over it, is through the understanding as by manure. The economic use of fire. Wind, water, the mariner's needle, steam, coal, chemical agriculture, the repairs of the human body, by the dentist and the surgeon. This is such a resumption of power as if a banished king should buy his territories inch by inch, instead of vaulting at once into the throne. Meantime, in the thick darkness, there are not wanting gleams of a better light, occasional examples of the action of man upon nature with his entire force, with reason as well as understanding. Such examples are the traditions of miracles in the earliest antiquity of all nations, the history of Jesus Christ, the achievements of a principle as in religious and political revolutions, and the abolition of the slave trade, the miracles of enthusiasm, as those reported of Swedenborg, Hohenlohe, and the Shakers. Many obscure and yet contested facts now arranged under the name of animal magnetism, prayer, eloquence, self-healing, and the wisdom of children. These are examples of reason's momentary grasp of the scepter, the exertions of a power which exists not in time or space, but an instantaneous, in-streaming, causing power. The difference between the actual and the ideal force of man is happily figured by the schoolmen in saying that the knowledge of a man is an evening knowledge, vespertina cognitio, but that of God is a morning knowledge, matutina cognitio. The problem of restoring to the world original and eternal beauty is solved by the redemption of the soul. The ruin or the blank that we see when we look at nature is in our own eye. The axis of vision is not coincident with the axis of things, and so they appear not transparent but opaque. The reason why the world lacks unity and lies broken and in heaps is because man is disunited with himself. He cannot be a naturalist until he satisfies all the demands of his spirit. Love is as much in demand as perception. Indeed, neither can be perfect without the other. In the uttermost meaning of the words, thought is devout, and devotion is deep thought. Deep calls unto deep. But in actual life, the marriage is not celebrated. There are innocent men who worship God after the tradition of their fathers, but their sense of duty has not yet extended to the use of all their faculties. There are patient naturalists, but they freeze their subject under the wintry light of understanding. Is not prayer also a study of truth? A sally of the soul into the unfound infinite? No man ever prayed heartily without learning something. But when a faithful thinker, resolute to detach every object from personal relations and see it in the light of thought, shall at the same time kindle science with the fire of the holiest affections, then will God go forth anew into the creation. It will not need, when the mind is prepared for study, to search for objects. The invariable mark of wisdom is to see the miraculous in the common. What is a day? What is a year? What is the summer? What is woman? What is a child? What is sleep? To our blindness, these things seem unaffecting. We make fables to hide the baldness of the fact and conform it, as we say, to the higher law of the mind. But when the fact is seen under the light of the idea, the gaudy fable fades and shrivels. We behold the real higher law. To the wise, therefore, a fact is true poetry, and the most beautiful of fables. These wonders are brought to our own door. You also are a man and woman in their social life. Poverty, labor, sleep, fear, fortune are known to you. Learn that none of these things are superficial, but that each phenomenon has its root in faculties and affections of the mind. Whilst abstract questions occupy the intellect, nature brings it to the concrete, to be solved by your hands. It were a wise inquiry for the closet to compare, point by point, especially at remarkable crises in life, our daily history with the rise and progress of ideas in the mind. So shall we come to look at the world with new eyes. It shall answer the endless inquiry of the intellect, what is truth? And the affections, what is good? By yielding itself passive to the educated will. Then shall come to pass what the poet said, nature is not fixed but fluid. Spirit alters, molds, and makes it. The immobility or bruteness of nature is the absence of spirit. To pure spirit it is fluid. It is volatile. It is obedient. Every spirit builds itself a house, and beyond its house a world, and beyond its world a heaven. Know, then, that the world exists for you. For you is a phenomenon perfect, that we are, that only we can see. All that Adam had, all that Caesar could, you have and can do. Adam called his house heaven and earth. Caesar called his house Rome. You perhaps call yours a cobbler's trade, 100 acres of plowed land, or a scholar's garret. Yet line for line and a point for point your dominion is as great as theirs, though without fine names. Build therefore your own world. As fast as you conform your life to the pure idea of your mind, that will unfold its great proportions. A correspondent revolution in things will attend to an influx of the spirit. So fast will disagreeable appearances, swine, spiders, snakes, pests, madhouses, prisons, enemies, vanish. They are temporary and shall be no more seen. The sordor and filth of nature. The sun shall dry up, and the wind exhale. As when the summer comes from the south and snowbanks melt, and the face of the earth becomes green before it, so shall the advancing spirit create its ornaments along its path, and carry with it the beauty it visits and the song that enchants it. It shall draw beautiful faces, warm hearts in discourse, and the heroic acts around its way until evil is no more seen, the kingdom of man over nature, which cometh not with observation. A dominion such as now is beyond the dream of God. He shall enter without more wonder than the blind man feels who is gradually restored to perfect sight. And that's the end. What did you think of nature?